Hello, that's us back at Friday afternoon, Conscious World Agents. My name is Claudia van Zuiden.
And my name is Arturo, Massaro, and both we are the co-founders of Conscious World Agents.
Hey. And thank you for joining us today. We are really excited to be with you here every Friday. And we were saying earlier that we really want to thank you. We want to thank you for your engagement with our posts, liking our posts, sending us messages. And we have now been working with Conscious World Agents for 4 months. Yep. And my gosh, what a journey it's been. It's fabulous. We've had so many interesting, we met so many interesting people. We've had a few experience days.
Online sessions. We are invited to come to Morocco, to India. A lot of things are happening right now, and also a lot of ideas, new ideas coming up.
Yes. So thanks everyone who's watching now. Lovely to see you here. And yes, we really have been, like you said, working with new ideas, like on a personal level, been working very much about personal leadership, but now we're in the middle of writing a course also for
business leadership. Yeah.
So
the leaders of really the companies.
Yes.
And it's about how can you raise your own level of consciousness as a leader? How can you do it with your team? How can you do it with your company? And with that, can you really drive from a purpose instead of a profit-driven level of thinking and acting like that? So what is your calling?
Yes, and that of course works at a personal level as well. We notice a lot of people who actually were very profit-driven also in their personal lives, but actually have made massive changes in their lives and looking far more at purpose-driven goals now and more at the we than what's in it for me. So yeah, if that rings a bell with you, get in touch with us, or we really, you'll see at the end of the month we hopefully have this program ready. And in September we start our 4-leaf clover year program with people, but we also are now looking at the 4-lead clover. So
4-lead clover,
yes.
That's nice. Yeah.
So that's the plan. But
one moment.
One moment.
Sulimalki, nice to meet you also. Thank you. And Bert van der Bent said, well, it's a super program. Thank you, Bert. You were always
a super stel.
Yeah. And
nice.
And Astrid, thank you for joining us also from France.
Yeah, and I see, if I see the thing, I think it's Emma Shepherd from Scotland. Great to have you here as well, Emma. And thank you, Bert as well, and Astrid and Zuli for joining us. So, today we are speaking about limiting beliefs.
Yes.
And wow, that's been a post. So many messages, people saying, well, I can really relate to this, but how do I do it? I can hear this little voice nagging in the back of my head. Yeah. But how do I change it? It's so difficult. And of course, some wonderful other coaches and people that we work with in our network, they say, I do this technique and that technique, and that's absolutely great. So there's lots of people, if you're stuck with this, who can help you with that. But you can also help yourself quite easily. So that's what we'll be talking about. And we'll be discussing our own post, what we spoke about this week. And then we'll share, what we believe that could help you to change those limiting beliefs into more positive beliefs, which helps you to raise your level of consciousness. So, where would you like to start today?
Yeah, well, and what we tell you is not the truth, it's our truth. It's how we perceive the world and how we can change our own limiting beliefs. And that we also see the benefits of it in our own lives.
Yeah.
So, see what resonates with you. When you talk about limiting beliefs, if you already follow us for the last 3-4 months, then you know that we also talked a lot about our subconscious mind. And one of the automatic programs that the subconscious mind has, that's the limiting beliefs. That's the beliefs you have, and we call it also the belief system, the BS. And this BS is most of the times not helping you. And why not? Because you stay in that thing, that thought that you believe is true, and that has been taught to you in the first 6-7 years of your life, with all the good intentions of your parents, of your teachers, of your grandfathers and your educators. It doesn't matter who. But you were so open at that moment that you were watching people who had a certain authority to you. You listened to them. You saw what they did. And you started to believe that's the truth. That's how I need to talk. That's how I need to act. And that program is still running in your life at the subconscious level. So limiting beliefs can be like, I'm not good enough, other people are better, I don't have enough money, first the economy must grow again, COVID must be finished, then I can start my own business, my manager is not a good one, and all these kind of things that you believe that make that you act in a certain way, and most of the times, again, it's not helpful. Of course, not all beliefs are not helpful. There are definitely some can help you, but most of them are holding you back for the things that you really, really want in life. And what we would like you to do is to understand that you are worthy enough to have a life that you want, to live a life that you want. And that starts by changing your own limiting beliefs. How can you do that? Well, one of the things that helped me a lot was first write down my limiting beliefs. Just write it down, and without judgment, and you will see if you take 15 minutes for it, you need 2 papers at least, probably. It's a whole list. That's nice, you know, it is what it is. And then see which one, take 1 or 2 that are maybe a little bit easy to change right now. So every time when it comes up, think about, and when you have this thought of this feeling, for instance, I'm not good enough, or that person is better than me, take a deep breath, relax, and ask yourself, just like Byron Katie does, is this true? Is this really true, what I'm thinking right now?
Nice.
And most of the times, I can guarantee you, these limiting beliefs are not true. But you think they're true. And by changing that to, okay, maybe some people are better in a certain topic, but I'm also good in this topic. I can show this. And look back in your own life, you overcome all these limiting beliefs already because you're still alive. And so, but if you change it, your life can be much easier. It can be much more effortless to not chasing, but realizing your goals. And it's so much easier when you get rid of these limiting beliefs. And I train people already for over 20 years in this, but believe me, I still have my own limiting beliefs at certain moments. But one of the most important things is that you get aware of it. And once you're aware of your own limiting beliefs, you can change it. And you can recognize them, for instance, you use a lot of words like, it's always that, you will never listen to me, everyone is, or nothing will work. All these kind of things, if you use these kind of words, then it's a limiting belief. If you want to convince other people, if you don't let them speak, but intervene constantly, if you listen to react instead of listen to really understand the other person, that has to do with a lot of limiting beliefs. And as we already said, your subconscious mind is working on survival mode, but also it wants to be right. And it only wants to be right about the limiting beliefs or the beliefs it has there. So that's your belief system. I can tell you a lot more, I can talk a lot more, but I think this was my post for this week. Yeah.
Yeah, and how did you overcome some of your limiting beliefs then? Maybe that is helpful for people to know as well.
Every time when I notice that these thoughts are coming up, again I take a deep breath, relax and say stop. This is not the way, this is not the path I want to walk. Can I change? Can I walk on a different path? What do I need to think or believe or say to myself? How can I be relaxed? And maybe you don't have to walk right away in a totally new path, but at least go to, neutral. Feel the peace. Feel the peace inside.
Yeah.
And maybe it helps that you see me doing right away, it's my hands on my heart, and that helps me. Breath. My hand on my heart, and I feel much more at ease. And when I'm feeling at ease, this old belief system won't drop in.
Nice, great tool. And that's practical straight away as well. Yeah, I love that. These limiting beliefs. So I really also find that a very great subject because, from a very young age, we start to believe things. From, till the age around 7, we are like sponges, and we were talking about this earlier, in this theta state. Yeah. We trust everything, and it just comes in there without being filtered. We just accept it as it is. So imagine if you were taught, like, who do you think you are? Who do you think you deserve that? And why do you do everything wrong? Or, all these things, if you get that imprinted from a very young age, that is going to really rule the rest of your life. If you consider that 95% of what we do, what we think, is based on habits. And they come from what you're saying, from your subconscious mind. So our conscious mind, when you, like you said, if you can say, stop, right here, I'm having a thought like this, it's not helping me, stop. And you take a breath, and you come back to yourself, and you say, right, that is something I'm limiting myself here to really be the creator of my own life. And I really like what Bruce Lipton said about that. He was like, you buy a computer, but it doesn't work. You have to put a program in that. So the subconscious mind, will run on the program that you put in. Yeah. And it's the same with your mind. So the subconscious mind, like we've said so many times, it's such a great mind. They go together, the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. Absolutely. We need them, we need them to walk, we need them to write, we need them to drive the car and all these things. Fantastic, all these things that we've learned. And we need our conscious mind, the creative mind, this unlimited potential mind to say, hold on a minute, I'm going to put another program in here, because what you have been remembering is from that 7-year-old child and is running your whole life on those programs. So put in another thought, and when you start doing that, you're starting to create new neural pathways. And that old habit, because it doesn't get fed anymore, doesn't get the information like it needs to trigger all the time that same program, gets a new program put in. But that takes time. That takes repetition. So if you start to check up with yourself, what are my, like you said, I love that, make a list, what are my self-limiting beliefs? And then replace them with something positive. And then every time when you catch yourself with this limiting belief, say, here I go again, stop, and put another belief in that program straight away. And by doing that, and keep doing that, and keep doing that until you get sick of it, you're starting to create a new habit. You're starting to create new thought patterns. And that is the trick. It's as simple as that. But you've got to do the work. So if I see somebody being very successful, I get clients who come to see me for programming, for the programs I run, like for small businesses or bigger businesses, but when I work on one-to-one, and they say, yeah, but then I look at this person and I see she's so successful and I still am not successful. How does that work? And I've done all the training, but that's because we're still running on that old belief system, that BS, as you said it so kindly, belief system. So if you keep running that, if you can't catch yourself because it's familiar, and if you're not willing to go into that stretch zone and saying, right, I need to make changes here, and I'm going to change that belief diligently every day. And the best way to do is record it. Remember, we did the 50 Days of Destiny program with Roeleke, which was fantastic. We can really recommend that as well. Roeleke Schippers, check it out. She's got a lovely program. And I then recorded my affirmations that were really helpful for me. And I played that every night before I went to sleep for 50 days. And it's amazing what it did to me. And some of my limiting beliefs that were still sitting there, oh, maybe I'm not good enough at this. What do you mean I've been speaking internationally? Well, I did that maybe a few times. Who wants me again? You know, still that niggling in my head. And, you know, I need to change that. That I had to believe in myself. Yes, I have something to say too that some people want to listen about. And that was especially about compassionate leadership. So I, just by doing that, by putting that, recording that and playing that over again, and then playing it before the delta state, before I was going into theta state, which is like the hypnotic state, the state when you really absorb things in your subconscious mind, just in that delta state, I started to play that. I played that and played that and played that, and it really made a significant change in my life. So I really can recommend, and I would, like Arturo said, it's our truth. It doesn't mean perhaps it doesn't work for you, but perhaps it does. So it's worth a try if you want to make a change. And I know some of the people who have been writing me or watching or whatever, they have continuously said to me, I can't get rid of that limiting belief. Well, I guarantee you, if you want that, by these 50 days, some of it will change. And it depends on your input and your motivation. And also if you say, okay, I'll try it, but your heart is not really in it, then forget it. Really go in it full on with your full potential and give it a go and say, stop, recognize that limiting belief and change it into a positive one. Nice. And another I really want to is write it down on yellow sticky notes and place them everywhere. Around your mirror, where you brush your teeth, or where you have your bed light when you switch it overnight. See that new belief all the time. Put it in your mind. So that's what my post was about. I get so excited about it because I know it works. On so many levels. So and I've seen the benefit myself.
Yeah, and maybe it's good to think about your own life. Do you have now the same beliefs as you had 20 years ago, for instance? Or are some of them already changed? So you can do it. I can guarantee you that you changed some beliefs the beliefs you have now, and when you compare them to 20 years ago. So you can do it. But it's a conscious decision.
Yes.
And that's how important. It's a conscious decision to say to yourself, I'm not tolerating this anymore. I'm not tolerating that I think in this way. Stop. And then what Claudia said, what will I think? How will I think? How will I act? How will I feel? And it's really simple. It's really simple. It's not easy, but it's simple.
Yeah. And also, perhaps you can remember when you made a conscious choice, or you actually experienced something and you realize, well, actually, I am really good at this. Then you cannot go back to that old belief as well. It's instantly something changes in you. So it's actually possible like that in an instant. All of a sudden, when you can hit this fantastic golf ball. You
Yes,
did a shot and it's like,
of course,
I can
that's
do
me.
it. There is something in you that says, I can do this.
Yeah.
Or, you know, and then remember that somehow for the next time,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and I have that with certain things as well. And that keeps me going to perhaps improve it or to repeat it and try it again. So,
Yeah, think about if you start to change these limiting beliefs, think also about why are you going to do this? What's your motivation behind this? And why is this so important? Because there will come a time that you don't have the discipline, for instance, or the motivation enough at that moment to go on. And a lot of people are stopping then at that moment and going back to things that are familiar for them and fall back in their own habits.
Yeah.
But don't think about why you should stop. Think about why you started a few days or a few weeks ago with this. And go back to that moment and see the benefits. Feel it. And that will help you to go on.
yeah, and I would like to add to that as well that once you realize that you are such an incredible person, that that this mind, this consciousness of yours is the creator of how you experience everything, and that you have a choice. That you have a choice. Am I staying in those limiting beliefs? Or am I actually making conscious choices to change it? And once you do that, your life will just start to change in such positive ways. And positivity is important in this aspect because it raises also the frequency, the vibration, and the vibration of your consciousness. And that will be more in alignment with what the universe has to offer you. But if you imagine, some people say, then they write down, for example, in what they would like instead, like, I want to be healthy, or I want to have a happy life, or I want to have the great job. Another part that's really important is to change that, because some people try it like that. I would say, and I think I've heard Bruce Lipton also speak about that, say, write it down as you already have it. I have the job that I want. I have a healthy life, a body. I have a happy life. All these things that you really want, you imagine they're already there. Because your conscious level of mind is your creative mind and imagines all the time. It creates all the time. So when you start to do that, it will come to you. It will attract. You'll attract it that way. It's like you said, you don't have to chase it. It actually comes to you because you are the magnet who is sending out that frequency. And if the law of attraction works in that way, it will match each other like that. So write down like you already have it. Fake it till you make it, they say. And it's all imagine, feel, live like you have already that what you really want. And even when you are ill, I've heard people do this, and especially also with indigenous cultures, who people go to the medicine people who work with this. When they started to believe they were healthy, they started to heal already. So there's many ways how you can implement this. It starts with the belief system, and check with yourself, am I still in doubt? And can I let go of that? Can I really trust? Can I really feel that it's already here as I really want it to be? So, yeah. I think that is basically what I wanted to share about it today. And like Arturo said, we can talk on for hours about this, but hopefully this was really helpful for you.
Yeah, well, maybe it's also nice to make the bridge to next week, because then we're going to talk about abundance.
Oh, nice. Astrid says, imagine and feel it, emotion, feel it in your body. Absolutely, Astrid. Totally can resonate with what you're saying there. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, and if you know, and if you think that, and if you believe that the university has infinite possibilities, all these possibilities are also possible for you.
Yep.
It's only the frequency that you send out. So don't go into the blaming also, it's my fault that I have no money or I don't have a job. No, that's not your fault. So don't judge it, but you can change it. And as soon as you change all these thoughts, then you entering into new possibilities. And these new possibilities will come to you just like Claudia said.
I
Okay.
see.
Do you make vision boards as well, is what Astrid asks.
Yeah, oh, it's a big yes. We love vision boards.
Yeah.
Also because we're very creative. I love painting and I love doing those kind of things. So yeah, I love making vision.
Yeah.
And I also do vision board workshops for people. So that's always good fun.
Yeah, and one of the important things we think, we believe in with vision boards is see the picture, but also let it go.
Yeah.
Let it go and let the universe do the work. Send out what you want, but that's basically already the bridge and probably also things that we were going to write down right in our post next week about abundance, how to attract abundance into your life.
Yeah.
And basically abundance is already here. You don't have to attract it. Only you cannot see it right now sometimes. But vision boards and let go. That's basically what I want to share now, Astrid. Thank you for the question.
Yeah, very nice. And also, like you say, feel that it's already there. You know, you're creating a vision board, not what you want to have, but you already imagine it's already there. I think there's the secret key in that as well that works for me. So, and I'm really careful actually what I put on my vision board. Because it manifests really quickly. So if I put things on like, you know, whatever, then like a certain training I've been doing or something, or I wanted to go to the Himalayas or whatever, because of that, I just need to be really mindful what I put on there, because it can be a lot, but it all comes together. Or I can even move country in that respect. So
and there's also one question we forgot to answer. Astrid asks also, is everybody conscious of their own belief system?
Ah, nice.
No. No, a lot of people are not conscious enough about their own belief system. At least that's how I perceive it when I have people during our trainings or in the coaching sessions. And to be honest, myself, I wasn't always aware of this also. Now I'm challenging every thought I have. But that's something completely different than, for instance, 20 years ago for myself. And it's also, I think, not possible to change everything right away. And it's also not good for yourself to do that. I think you need to be in the progress and the process, step by step. But slowing down and getting inside more and feel what you feel, then you can be more aware of your own BS.
Okay, yeah, nice. And I see, so how to become more conscious? Well, I think, Astrid, that's exactly why we have these videos. Every week we say things about, give you some ideas how to do it, like today, like becoming aware of the consciousness that you have. And like you said, how would you know? But you could also check with yourself, are things going the way I want them to go?
Yeah.
And if not, what is my belief system about that? And then when you can become more conscious about that, you can then actually say, so if I feel or think like this, then this is obviously what I'm manifesting in my life, what I'm creating in my life. So then you become more conscious of that. So then you can change what would I like instead? If I want that instead, what would I need to change in my thinking, in my belief system?
Yeah, beautiful.
So that could help as well. I hope that answers your question. Okay, she says, you answered my question, thanks. That's great, Astrid. And keep sharing what you already find, because that's what we love about Conscious World agents. You know, we're all Conscious World agents. And we just want to raise our level of consciousness together to become more aware of who we are, how we think, how we act, how we relate, and how to find meaning in life.
Absolutely. And I know, Astrid, that you are also radiating this. Go on, keep on doing your own good work.
Yeah, great. Okay. That's great.
Yeah, that's very good. Yeah.
So, well, we're nearly reaching the half hour of this week already.
Already? Yeah, okay. Nice.
But we would like to tell you a little bit about next week. Our post will be about, like you already mentioned it, abundance.
Yeah.
And what does abundance mean? You know, I heard us also speak about what do you want in your life? Is it the job, the money, whatever? But what if we put all those things aside for a moment? Job and money, you know, we were not meant really to make that our main focus in life, jobs and money. It's not about that. It's what gives you really fulfillment in your life. And that's the kind of abundance we are talking about. And so next week our post will be about that and what makes your heart really sing, basically, and how to create that in your life.
Yeah.
And I think.
Yeah, I love it.
That's I think for this week what we wanted to discuss. So remember, if you have someone who would like to, who could benefit from this, please share this video. We will put it also on our YouTube channel later, Conscious World Agents. We're on all social media, and you can watch this one later, of course, as well on our page. And we're really, really grateful that you're here with us today. And if you, I know people say I can't watch you on Friday, but I'll watch you in the weekend, and they need the whole weekend sometimes to digest it. I won't mention any names, but we had some wonderful message around that. And we can't tell you enough how important this is for us, because we are really creating the life that we love, and that can't be without you.
No.
So, and we just hope you really benefit from this, and we look forward to seeing you next week again, and we wish you a restful and joyful weekend. Keep your frequency high. Do whatever you need to do to maintain your health in a good way. Look after yourself and each other, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, and do at least 2 things every day that makes you happy, that gives you energy. At least 2 things.
Yeah, wonderful.
And thank you for all the questions you asked. That's also very, very helpful. And we're so humble for doing this. Yeah, I love it.
Thank you, Astrid. We're looking forward to next week as well. And thank you for being here with us today. Lots of love, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.